Welcome back to Toronto Speaks Legal Advice. Tonight we're answering your questions on family law and how to avoid legal and financial mistakes of getting married, divorced, or separated. My guest is Andrew Feldstein, and family lawyer, again, a managing partner at the Feldstein Family Law Group. And we were helping Aster talk about something that probably happens a lot more often than not, is when the other spouse is trying to hide in order to avoid being served documents. And I think we're wrapping up saying that you have to be creative. You can give it to the mom, you can give it to the dad, you can give it to perhaps a good friend of his. Not the coffee shop owner.
Not the coffee shop owner, but you will need to get a court order that says that was valid service in order for it to count.
Now, when they serve, is there anything that they should get back from the person they're serving it to in order to validate that? Or?
Well, the first thing you have to appreciate is that you're not allowed to serve the documents yourself. The family law rules specifically prohibit a party from serving the documents. So frequently, we will hire, on behalf of our clients, somebody to serve the documents. You can go hire the same type of person. It's called a process server, which is the best thing to do, because courts will give more weight to them swearing an affidavit that says they served the document rather than your best friend or your brother serving the document. Because when someone says, oh, I never got it, and the person that served it was your best friend, the court's going to be a little reluctant to believe that versus someone who does it for a living.
So Aster, again, that's your option. You have to be a bit more creative, and that's processor. What is the name of it?
Process server.
Process server. Okay, process server will be able to perhaps Google that to figure out how you can
Absolutely.
access
There's lots
them.
of process servers in Ontario.
Great. And Aster, thank you so much for your call, and I hope that helped you today. Thank you. Thank you, Aster. And we don't have too much time left. I'd like to get back to some other callers that are on the line. We have Sarah. Sarah, please go ahead. And Sarah, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Sarah, go ahead. You're live.
Okay, thanks. I've been separated for 6 years, and we have no legal separation papers of any kind. We have a child. I live in the marital home. We have a very amicable separation. But I was wondering if my boyfriend moved into my house with me, what are the implications for if I eventually do get legally separated or divorced?
Well, let me start with the first concern I have for you, which is if there are any issues of equalization of net family property, the division of net family property, the limitation period is 6 years to make your claim. There are certain exceptions that can allow for the extension of time, but you have a real issue if you've passed that 6 years or you're getting close, that you need to speak to a lawyer as soon as possible to determine whether or not you may potentially forfeit some rights. To move along to your next question of how does it impact you if somebody moves in, you should always get a separation agreement if possible, because it will spell out your rights and your responsibilities in a very clear way so that you can understand how things are moving forward. Someone moving in with you can impact, and the key word is may impact spousal support depending on a plethora of circumstances. And it can also impact potentially the arrangement you have with your children. Usually when someone moves in with you, nothing will change, but there may be issues with your new partner. Your new partner could have some issues that could drink, could be abusive to you, could be abusive to the children, that could force your former spouse to say, I don't think the children should be with you, or the current schedule, if it's 50-50, may not continue. So there are certainly some issues that could arise from him moving in.
And of course, this is, Sarah, just to confirm, you have no separation agreement at this point? It's just verbal?
That's right. That's right. We just work together.
Okay, so now the difference between being separated versus divorce, how does that create a difference, Andrew, for Sarah, so she knows?
I know that Sarah used the term legally separated. You can be legally separated without an agreement because it really means you're not living together and there's no reasonable prospect of resuming cohabitation. That's the legal definition. And in that sense, you could have been doing that without any paperwork. To be separated, not divorced, you can date, you can have a significant partner. Basically, it's very similar to being divorced. What are the impact of divorce? Divorce means, obviously, you can remarry. when you are divorced, you are no longer eligible in almost all cases to obtain benefits from your spouse's benefit plan. And one of the other areas when you're divorced is you no longer have rights of possession to the matrimonial home, because those rights are only for married spouses, and when you're divorced, you're no longer a married spouse.
Oh, very, very good to point out the distinction between separation and divorce. I think they're used interchangeably, but the legal implications are tremendous.
Absolutely.
And Sarah, I hate to cut you off, and I do hope that we were able to help, because we do have some more callers I'd like to get to. We only have about 2 minutes left. So Sarah, thank you for calling. I hope that helped. Again, separation.ca has got a lot of information, I'm certain on that. We have Elisa on right now. Elisa, please go ahead. You only have about you have 1 minute. So go ahead and hopefully we can help. Elisa, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, Lisa. Go ahead. You only have about 1 minute, so we're unfortunately going to do this quickly.
Okay. I bought a house with my ex prior to marriage. We were living together as common-law 4 years, and then we got married 2 years later. The divorce has been finalized, but we're going to trial regarding the property. I just want to know, what am I entitled to? Am I entitled to from the time we purchased the house, or am I entitled to from the time we were married?
Great question.
Well, when you're determining equalization of net family property, it deals with it from the date of marriage. And didn't you buy the home together, from what I heard?
That's right.
And did you put the same amount of money in?
Yes, we did, but I don't have proof that I gave him money.
Well, it's going to be a stretch for him to say, once you're married and you were together a total of 6 years, including marriage?
That's right.
Okay. In my view, I might be missing some of the facts that he's arguing, because I've only had a very small glimpse in your case. But again, equalization of net family property is date of separation, date of marriage values. So he's going to be hard-pressed to try and establish that he had a greater interest in the home if you were both on title on the date of marriage.
Does that help you answer your question?
Well, I just wanted to know, because I wasn't on title. The reason why I wasn't entitled, we had to put his mom on to obtain mortgage, and the mom was to turn over the title into my name, and that never happened. So now she's in the matter as well.
So is your mother-in-law is the registered owner of the property?
And my ex-husband.
So what you're looking at then is an equalization payment. And was the matrimonial home on the date of separation the same one as it was on the date of marriage?
So, Elisa, was it the same home when you first moved in together as when you got married, as when you got divorced?
It was the same home.
So
the fact that he owns it on the date of marriage isn't relevant in your specific situation, but it's how much of it he owned that is relevant.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. We do have to separation.ca, and thank you so much to our viewers at home. We're out of time, and thank you, Andrew Feldstein. I also want to thank you guys again for calling in. Remember, know your rights, and if you don't, then watch us next time to get free legal advice. After all, the best things in life are free. Again, visit separation.ca if you have any further questions. Thank you for watching.